Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 7 at Churchill Downs on a star-studded Saturday card is the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis. $250,000 is the purse. It is a race for fillies and mares. It is going to be likely an important race in the Distaff division for the Breeders' Cup. And speaking Breeders' Cup, chance to get some swag from BreedersCupShop.com courtesy of DRF. With any purchase of $30 or more, enter the code DRF2PAC. Voila! You get those two very stylish Breeders' Cup World Championship glasses. Let's meet the field for the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis. Again, 9 furlongs, $250,000 is the purse. One of two ways, Mike Beer. You can look at the number 3 late.
Okay.
One way
Give me
is
the 2 ways.
She's the most talented horse in the race. If she runs her race, she's going to win. At a mile and an eighth, she has a big edge over many of these horses.
That's one way.
The other way is she can't run anymore.
I don't know why you would say she can't run anymore. I guess I don't look at her that way. You know, we'll see what happens. I do think she's going to have to take a step forward in this race. I actually felt like her Rosario off the layoff, and it was a pretty long
That was a
layoff.
good race.
I thought she ran well in there. I mean, I thought it was basically a perfect place for her to start where, you know, she was on the outside. Midnight Bisou got through on the inside. She just sort of held her position all the way to the wire. I thought it was fine. She didn't run quite as well last time, I didn't think. So, you know, we'll see where she is now. It sounds like, you know, the reason that she's here is because Mott wants these longer races for her. She gets it. She's, you know, obviously really, really talented on her best day. I'm expecting her to take a step forward.
And to be fair, the figs say she can run. And who knew Midnight Bisou was this good? We knew she was good.
She's very good.
She has turned into the best mare in the country with Monomoy
Right now
Girl
she
on
is.
the sidelines. She not only beat a late in the Azeri, in the Apple Blossom, she came back and just destroyed them in the Ogden Phipps last week with a 103 Beyer speed figure. But it's just that after that personal ensign with Abel Tasman and Mott saying, oh, we're going to the Breeders' Cup Classic,
Yep.
and all of a sudden she's one of the top horses in the country. Yep. I know a lot of folks expected more at Oaklawn. Maybe 8-5 is actually fair here.
Yeah, it's a concern, I guess, that, you know, they had all those big plans after that huge race at Saratoga last summer, and she just couldn't get back to the races. You know, when you're talking about a 5-year-old mare now, when they have trouble getting to the track, that's something that should concern you. And, you know, it's not like her last 2 races are her best races. So there's reason to look at her a little skeptically, but I think she's going to run a better race on Saturday.
The filly with a pace edge might be the 2 She's a Julie, and she's just been placed beautifully by Steve Asmussen. This filly has won 5 of her last 7 races. She's won 3 out of her last 4, and very slowly Steve's just been picking her up in class. Yep. I love the way she ran the Alabama last year. I mean, that was a pretty fast pace. She was right on that pace, and Eskimo Kisses just came with the last run, and she was dead game for second over Midnight Bisou. Probably doesn't want to go that far.
I agree.
She's a Julie last time out. Beautiful ride from Ricardo Santana. Yeah. Saved ground, eased outside the pace setter. Secret Spice is a pretty underrated horse. Had to work real hard to get the job done. What are your thoughts about the mile and an eighth? And then we'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector, which has her in control of a slow pace.
Yeah, I don't worry about a mile and an eighth for her. The way that she ran at a mile and a quarter last year in the Alabama, to me, suggests that she can get this far. I loved her, and you're right about everything you said about, you know, her Asmussen bringing her along expertly and her just keeping improving. I loved her race off the layoff at Oaklawn in the Bayako. I thought she ran great that day. She went a little too early for me after a long shot cleared her. She was taken on by a rival in that race and had to race from a long way out. I loved that win from her. Last time I thought it was more game than anything else. But the fact that she got it done over a pretty good horse just makes me feel like she's never been better than she is right now. And if she gets loose on the lead, they're not going to have an easy time running her down.
That is loose on a blue bar scenario, and the 2 horses expected to chase her are long shots. So there's a good chance She's a Julie is in control of this thing, turning into the stretch. And there's a very good chance that she's the 3rd price in this field. Let's talk about Skeptic, who's expected to be close to the pace. She won last time out at Churchill, going a mile and a 16th. She is a graded stakes winner. She won kind of a weak edition of the Monmouth Oaks last year. She's really useful. She can stay close to the pace.
Yeah.
Boy, if I was Brian Hernandez Jr., and I know that she's a Julie rated last time out, I would just send from the rail.
Yeah, try and show some speed here and see if she can just take a step forward, because it's pretty clear that she needs to take a step forward to beat this field.
Go Google yourself, Mike Beer, and I'm not sure what you're going to find. Second last time out in the Grade 3 double dog dare over a wet track. 4th place finisher came back to place. Just missed for Bill Mott in the Grade 3 DuPont Distaff with a 92 Beyer speed figure. She's another one that can be close to the pace. She is a very consistent filly. She's just slow on paper.
Yeah, her recent form's actually very good. It's a question of whether she can go with horses like this. I mean, this is not an easy spot for a horse like her, but her recent form is fine.
Similar to Auspicious Babe. I liked Auspicious Babe's win back in November at Churchill Downs. 4 wide, been on the far turn, altered course real wide, turning into the lane, and just got up over. Go Google yourself. No match for Skeptic last time out. She's a Julie waffled her in the Bayakoa 3 starts back, and I just think this is just a little too tough for a nice, honest filly.
Yeah, so far races like this, she just doesn't fit that well on that.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis handicap. If a late shows up, a late wins, maybe. Blue Prize is pretty good, and Blue Prize has a couple of advantages, I think. Blue Prize at Churchill Downs,
Maybe.
she loves.
So if a late shows up with her best race, she might beat Blue Prize?
No, she's going to beat Blue Prize.
she
But
is.
maybe she won't show up with her
that's
best
true.
race.
That's what you
and
have to
Blue
worry about.
Prize loves Churchill Downs, and I would argue likes the 9 furlongs just as much as a late.
She really
That is her distance. I thought she ran really well in the Breeders' Cup Distaff to be
too.
beaten 1.5 lengths by Mona Moy Girl.
I agree.
Last time out in the La Troyenne, a lot of folks thought you had to be kind of close to the pace. I don't know if she's a Julie sat the pocket in behind, but Blue Price was kind of in and among horses. I think that was not the most comfortable trip for her. I think a mile and a 16th was short for her, and I think she might have been prepping for this race all along in her first start off a 6-month layoff. A mile and an 1/8 at Churchill Downs is Pure Prize's game, and I think she's versatile enough to work out any kind of pace scenario. If a late is not a late, beware. Blue Prize.
Listen, I agree with all that stuff. I feel like the La Troyenne, they were probably just using that race to get here because when you go back, yes, she was in and among horses, but on even terms with She's a Julie at the top of the stretch of that race. She's a Julie was just better than her that day, but she was off the layoff, and She's a Julie was not, and as you say, this is her distance. I'm with you. I thought her Breeders' Cup last year was a super effort. It's not going to matter if a late shows up, but you can wonder if a late is still the same horse, and if you think she's not, this is a great race to bet against her because I think she'll be shorter than 8 to 5.
Listen, it's a short field, but it's what's known as a short but select field. You've got three excellent, excellent fillies and mares in here. Mike's going 3-2-5. I'm going 5-3-2. It's the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis. It's race number 7 at Churchill Downs on Saturday. It's Breeders' Cup win in your in-season. Get involved at breederscupshop.com. Purchase $30 or more and enter the code DRF2PACK, and you get that 2-pack of beautiful Breeders' Cup commemorative glasses. Approximate post time for the Fleur de Lis, 9:12 Eastern. Good luck.